Interesting, when I got here, I discovered that we had not only ambivalence, but an actual policy against communicating directly with our consumers. I think what we've discovered, and it's very simple now when we look back, is that the expectation of the consumer is to hear from us every single day. In the old days, it was, well, if you've been good, we'll give you a screenshot. And then a month later, if you've been really good, and the pre-sales are starting to show some life, we might actually reward you with some footage. That all goes out of the window. When you look both at Electronic Arts and then EA Sports as a label within that, we had some splaining to do to the community, and I think over the past couple of years, we've invested in people, resources, tools, and not been afraid now, quite frankly, of opening the kimono to this dark art of game development. We still have those huge make them line up at midnight type campaigns, but then we complement them in ways that we've never done before in the past. It becomes almost the climax rather than the launch. And by that I mean we have constantly communicated with our consumer what to expect as the process has gone on. We're seeing marketing as 365 days a year, but perhaps most importantly, we're looking at and measuring what's going on hourly now, because we have the tools to do that. If it is, as it previously was, that you're scared of saying something stupid, and so you put a clamp down and you don't communicate. Now, there's been a couple of instances where producers have got calls from me where they should have known better. But the 10,000 instances of a producer saying, this is what we're listening to you, this is what we're doing, this is what you can expect from us, far outweigh some of the slip-ups, some guys saying silly things. We're going to continue to allow our people to talk every single day, hope that they utilize a common sense filter, which they typically do. You know, if things slip up, they say things in advance of something we've announced, or they're critical, which they can be critical, but they say things that are critical of maybe their own team members and what have you. That's maybe the price you have to pay. Well, for us, it's certainly not dead. It's expected by the consumer. We're still, for the most part, most of our franchises are mass market. You look in particular to, I'll pick on Madden and FIFA, that beyond a core consumer, they bring in a more mass market consumer. So in the old days, you would blanch at the thought of spending, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars, or God forbid, $1 million in production on a TV spot and then running it once. So instead of carpet bombing them, which we previously did, which television is probably the best example of that for marketing, it's more of a sniper attack of making sure we're very tactical, very quick to respond, and incredibly digital. The bulk of our spend, bulk of our placement, and the bulk of our effort is actually to go online. Investing in a high-value production of a TV spot, in what I should really call it now is a video spot, because it's not truly just exclusive view television. Now we can see greater pickup, more appointment viewing of your spot, and greater spontaneity, particularly on web pages. You can place it that's more targeted even than TV. It's just what we did for E3, but I actually hosted a sports show every day there where I brought celebrities in. Instead of just go play the game and here's some videos on the wall, we brought it to life like an entertainment company would do. And I hosted the show, and I used that, it was the EA Sports show. Really brought to life what we're about, which is, to your point, as much about entertainment. Because sports is truly entertainment, you know, let's make no bones about that. And utilizing entertainment type vehicles and entertainment tactics more than the classic sports tactics is what we're all about. The blog serves as a really interesting and deep immersion for me into the community. We try not to make it too corporate. In other words, it's just another way to make an announcement. We really wait till we have something substantive to say. It's the difference between sending an email and writing a letter. And a letter usually gets a response for somebody that receives it. And then, of course, having the ability to post your comments underneath becomes the real differentiator than simply having a press release. But it's very clear to me, people love writing reviews. People must sit there for an hour with the product. I think you've either got to love it or hate it. If you're ambivalent, you're not going to write a review.